morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And it's Tuesday and it's our tutorial, but first, happy mail. On Saturday I received an absolutely amazing box of goodies from a lady called Julie, who is in my group, and she didn't want me to share the goodies because she felt that they weren't wrapped as nicely or what have you as other people do Happy Mail. But Julie, they were absolutely awesome. I loved all the shredded bits. You wrapped everything in tissue paper. It took me almost an hour to unwrap and look at everything. It was just totally awesome. Seriously, my face was like Christmas Day. So I want to thank you very, very much for everything that you sent to me. And I promise you that I will be using it. Right, next up, I got some more happy mail from Marilyn. Marilyn is the YouTube channel Sweetwater's Cards, and she sent to me, whoops, I need to pick it up, lots of tape. Look at that, isn't that awesome? I've got red line tape, always running out of red line tape, and tape just to stick everything down. And Marilyn, you know I'm going to use all of that, every single bit of it. I don't know how long it will take me to do it, but I will use all of it. And thank you very, very much. That is wonderful, practical, happy mail. And you also surprised me by using my slimline die and envelope, and you even managed to use the envelope seal that comes with it. I'm always surprised when I look at my designs made up. I don't know, it makes me smile. And you put Velcro there, which is absolutely awesome. And I've already looked at it once, and I know that you want me to pop this into my donation box for the old people's home. But it's just absolutely wonderful. I love the chipboard on there. And I'm going to slide out my notes because I don't like to read personal things out online, but you've left it blank so that they can do it for themselves. But it's absolutely gorgeous, and thank you very, very much. And I love the happy mail because, you know, I'm going to use all of it. So that is the first part of my show. And even though Julie didn't want me to, I am going to show you her cards because I think it's absolutely amazing. Look at the glitter. She has stenciled and glittered that. And it's a great sunny morning here, so it's going to shine. Look at the shoe. And popped up on foam and gemstones embossed there. Just absolutely wonderful. So, you know, Julie, you have to forgive me that I showed your card, but I just think it's gorgeous, and it's going on my crafty shelf. And I think one of the things that I'm going to have to do is get some fishing wire. And when I've decorated the craft room, I think I'm just going to go from like hook to hook along the ceiling and get some clothespins, pegs or clips, and start hanging just all my stuff off fishing wire. So I want to thank you very, very much. Now I'm quickly going to pause because I've got something to show you before I do the tutorial. And the tutorial, I hope, is going to be bouncing bees. So it's going to be little bouncing bees on a card. And I need to show you something first. So I'm going to quickly pause and grab it. Right, I'm back and I grabbed it, and over the weekend I made an interesting discovery, and I'm trying to get the box open, and it's this stuff. Now, I didn't buy this for my nails. I actually bought it for the purpose that hopefully I'm about to show you. So let's pull that out. This is a chrome pigment pen. Now, obviously there's no chrome in there, but the glitter in these products is made from fine, I hope you can see that, ground glass. Put my hand there. Pigment. And then there's another polymer in there, I think, that just fixes it. Look at that sparkle. Right. When you put this down onto UV gel polish, you get a mirror finish. But what I wanted to know was what would happen if you put it down on glossy accents. Well, this was onto white cardstock, and there's your answer. Look at that. I'm going to get that to shine. That is shinier than foil cardstock. It really, really is. And it's so bright here at the moment that I don't think it's showing actual true. Let's see how close we can go. It looks like a piece of metal. That's what I'm going to say. It looks like gold. It actually looks like a piece of gold. It's absolutely amazing. So what I did was I used one of my, I think it's a Tim Holtz Sizzix 3D embossing folder, which cuts the whole shape out. And then I dipped my finger into some glossy accents and just smeared it all over the surface, because I'm thinking about nail gel and the texture and shine of it. And then I went over it with the pen. So that is that one onto white cardstock. And then this one was on black cardstock. Oh, that's a better picture. So on black cardstock, it still looks gold, but it looks more kind of, you know, brassy gold. Maybe it's better if I hold that down there. I might actually get up and shut my blinds. But if you look at that, look at the shine on that. So what I did was I got my little silicone mat here. Let's move those out of the way. And I don't know if the light is going to catch it. You can just about see it. I put down Dollar Tree glue on a little spatula through a stencil. And you can see some of it's a little bit bubbles. That's because you're not supposed to stencil with Dollar Tree glue. But I just wanted to see if it would stick. And then up there, I've got a couple of little blobs of glossy accents again. But I'm going to pop the lid off this and let's find out if it will stick to Dollar Tree. So what happens is you get this foamy tip like a pen, but all of the pigment, I don't think it's going to show it, is in the lid. So every time you push that in, you're kind of like priming the foam tip. So let's try here and see if it's a failure. Now, to be honest, I wasn't expecting anything to stick onto this, although I have to say it is an interesting effect. I'm going to pick that up and show you. So it's kind of like highlighting it and the high points of it, but not much. And then the glossy accents. Just keep bubbling over that and then rubbing it. You can see what it's done there. It's gone into all its bits. So looking at this, this is going to be a great product for solid use. Although I have to admit that I do like the effect that it's giving across the Dollar Tree glue. And we're not supposed to use Dollar Tree glue for stenciling. And if you do that, you've got to wash it out. But as I say, I was absolutely stunned at what it did here, because it really, really does look like a piece of metal. So I am going to try and do that more in depth, because we're already running up 10 minutes on the clock. But there it is from Aliexpress, and I think it was like $2. So it's a chrome pen, and that's what it says on the front. If I can find a link, I'll do that for you. Great picture of the camera. Right, I'm going to pause and get the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so we're going to be using the Spring is in the Air pack from Tuesday morning, and I'm going to be using some of the paper out of here, and I also, I'll get my fingers in, like this little red sticker here. You are my happy place is what it says. So I'm going to try and use that one, and I'm trying to think the name of this pack. I know it's it's Hello Spring Echo Park. There you go, early in the morning. So I'm going to be using cardstock from that, and also that sticker. Going to be using the cake mousse wrap from AliExpress, which is this stuff, which lasts quite a while and it's great for doing shakers. I'm going to use these scissors which cut strips. Yes, wonderful things. from Tuesday morning. I'm going to be using glue dots, and I'm going to be using this set of bees that I got last week that come with the little dies, and I'm going to be using a honeycomb which cuts into the paper. It doesn't cut out. This is from Aliexpress. I don't know if they still do this. If they do, I will link it below. And also going to be using Surprise Creations Slimline double set, and I'm just going to use the double stitch. Right, so layer those up. Now, first up, I had to do the bees because I covered them in glossy accents. So here are my little humbly bumblies, and I glued them down onto foam, which isn't going to give them any more weight, but it is going to give them some dimension. So if I do a close-up there, and underneath the glossy accents, you can see I used the silver sparkle pen on the wings. Very, very bright here today. Can't really complain about that. So I've done my little bees, and there they are up on foam, just coloured with touch 5 markers. So I've done those. Right, I'm just going to run off and die cut my card and base, and let's see if we can make those bees bounce around. Okay, so I cut my cardstock, and I've also decided to use Joann's, that heavyweight that I showed last week. And I've cut my honeycomb into my plaid paper, which is like that on the back of it, but we're never going to see that, so that's okay. And it is going to go down like that. So that's how I'm going to have it, and I'm going to use some of my Dollar Tree foam pads to hold it up in the air. Now, I'm wondering if I put my foam pads down first or try and make the bees bubble first. I think I will do the foam pads first. Right, so I'm going to put foamy pads on the back of here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I put my foamy tape on the back, and you can see it's a hodgepodge of foam pieces to try and keep it as firm on there as possible. And now it's going to cast that great shadow underneath, which is what I want. And also now is a perfect time. You do get 6 bees in this set, but I've only done 5. And that is to kind of decide where you're going to have your bees. I mean, I think that one would look kind of nice in that configuration. That one looks like it's running off for more coffee. So this one looks like you can hang it upside down. It's kind of like all curled up in laughter. So I think that I might actually do that. That might be a good place for that. And that one would probably look nice there. So what I need to do is put the floating ones in. These are going to be just standing ones. So next up, I need to get this out of the bag. Always good to keep it in a bag because it's quite static. And I'm just going to slice a chunk off. Like so. Pop it back in the bag. Keep it nice and clean. Just pop that out of the way for a minute. And now I've got my strip of mousse wrap. Now these I'm hoping are going to give me some strips. And of course I'm only going to need at the most 5. But I'm hoping it's going to cut. Oh, and it does. And I'll do it again over here. Right, so now you can see we've got lots of little strips instantly done and nice and evenly spread apart. So first of all, I'm going to go in here and crop these out. I didn't need to do it twice. I didn't realise how many strips it was going to cut. Pop that one. So now I've got a few strips here in my hand, and I only need 3 of them. So we're going to get our glue dots and put those down. I'll put those aside. I can use those on something else. Right, so those 2 out of the way. My scissors out of the way. And let's bring this down. So the glue dot is going to hold the plastic strip to the back of the bee. So, you know, kind of like make sure what orientation you want your bee in. I do apologise for the bright light if you're unable to see correctly. And I'm just going to wind up a dot. I'm going to drag one off with my pokey tool. I'm going to stick it down on here. I'm not actually a huge fan of glue dots. I mean, I know that they're useful, but they're just too fiddly. And you can see I've kind of like folded it in so that it's not hanging out. Now, looking at this little bee here, I think to have that there would be a good idea. So I've stuck that on there, and you can see the weight of the bee is going to make it jiggle. So that's our first one. And then this one, I'm quite happy to do that little chap upside down. I think that's going to look really, really cute. So I'm getting another one, popping it onto the end here, and just folding it over, because you don't want your little bee stuck to anything else. And I think maybe there. So that little bee is just laughing its head off and just hanging upside down. And then the next one, this one, and I kind of like that orientation there where it's sort of like slightly on its side, having a big old belly laugh. So glue dot off again, sticking it on, fold it in slightly. Whoops. See what I mean about how fiddly they are? I end up having to hold it with my finger while I peel bits there. So I think that's going to be good. So that's how that one looks. Right, next thing is obviously deciding where you want them and hoping that the strip will go through the honeycomb, which is the whole idea behind this. And it does. You can see that. That's vanished through the hole. Ooh, I do like that. So I'm going to have to flip it over once I've decided which bits are going where. And actually, I want that one upside down there. So I'm just having a good old play. And I want to take that one to the top here. Now, in order for them to bounce, you've got to bend that piece over so that your dot goes onto the back. So the dot will actually go here so that it's curled over here. So I'm just trying to think where about it's going to go. Right, yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Sorry if I'm off thinking to myself. Right, okay, so that is the top of it. I'm going to have that one going inside there. So that's actually sticking out of the hole there. And then this one is going to do the same. So right, I've got to stick this one down into this hole. And if you look at the orientation there, you can see that he's going to be jiggling basically in the center of the card. So now I need to put a glue dot down. And pop it under there. Oh. Make sure it doesn't come off on my fingers. Look at where the bee is dangling, because you don't want it coming off your card, if you know what I mean, and hitting the table. And I'm just going to fasten that down. So there is our first jiggling bee, which is kind of, ooh, I'll show you properly when it's made. Right, so you just saw how I put that bee onto there. I'm going to do it with the the two and I'll be back. Okay, so I've closed the blinds here and I've got these on, and you can see that I've threaded it through the honeycomb there. But I hope you can see them. They do jiggle and bounce around. But that's going to go onto there so that you're not going to see any of the workings of the card, and they will go flat in an envelope. Look, I'll show you. See, they will just go totally flat down on the card, and then when the person takes them out and stands the card up, they're just going to wobble and jiggle around. I think that's awesome. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel my foamy pads off and stick it down, and then I'll decide where these two go and I will be back. Right, so I stuck those down and you can see that they just jiggle, which I think is hilarious. They just float and bobble around. If you've got it vertical like that, you can see how that they would you know, just move on the front of the card. I think that's really cute. Right, the next ones I'm going to go for a bee there, and I don't know if I'm overcrowding it. How can you be overcrowded? Bees are always in a swarm, aren't they? So I'm just going to go for that there, and I'm going to use glue dot to stick it down. These glue dots are really strong and they've got resin in them. So I'm going to pop that one down there. So we've got all the bees going on. I really do love this set of stamps and dies. And the other bee set that I got, I had to look twice. I thought they were photopolymer. The quality was so good. Right, so now I've got 5 bees, different orientations. That one's having its belly laugh, and that one's floating down, and that one's upside down. And I'm going to take a photograph, obviously, but I just wish that you could, you know, see it, because they just float. It's awesome. Right, I wanted to finish it off with a sticker up there, and I'll just grab that and be back. Okay, so here's my little sticker from that Hello Spring pack, and I just think it's going to fit really nicely in this area here. And I think yellow and red looks really nice together anyway, so I just want to position that there. You are my happy place. And there it is. And I just wish that my camera was oriented so that you could see how those bees just float on the front of the card, because it just looks awesome. Tumbling around, and this one kind of like touches that one slightly, but that's okay. I really like that. But this one upside down I think is just seriously cute. But really happy. Wonderful happy card. So there it is. I don't know if I can get in any closer. I will try my best. Ooh, did that just change colour? You never know really what's going on with my camera. And there goes my doggies. And each of them, look, has got silver sparkle in their wings. And I did that using one of the Signo sparkling pens that I showed to you last week. All of them got glossy accents and popped up. And I just think that's really, really cute. Right, so that was my Tuesday tutorial. I might have fumbled through it a bit, but never mind. I think I made something nice. And tomorrow I'm going to be up with another design team haul from Brilliant House. Thank you so much for watching, and you have an absolutely awesome day. As usual, all links below. Bye.